did not find anyone inside. Her car and purse were still there. And the Indiana Hoosiers face the Oregon Ducks this Saturday afternoon in college football action. The kickoff is at 3:30 Eastern. WIBC News Time is 3:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
WIBC traffic at 3:05. What's happening, Matt Bear?
Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic. West Street into the North Split. It is a 3-minute delay. Also looking at the east side, southbound 465 loaded from 72 Washington Street. Inbound 69, 2-minute delay, 106th Street to 465. Eastbound 70 slow at Harding into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clear conditions tonight and areas of patchy frost likely once again, with outside of the city temperatures falling into the 30s. Partly cloudy skies later Friday afternoon with highs near 70. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock!
Oh, it's Friday Eve. Almost Friday. And we're going to have a lot of fun today, man. Big Nige is out. My full name is Jason Allen Hammer. I'm 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, a pure Beech Grove Southern gentleman, and we are driving this thing solo this afternoon. We're going to hang out and have a house party today. Allison's going to bring the drinks. Matt Bear won't drink any of them, but he'll be here. And we're going to get you up to date with everything you need to know. Okay? Now, that being said, I've got questions. I got questions about things happening here in our backyard, which means we're going to kickstart a little Indiana stuff. Tenderloins, euchre, basketball, Indiana stuff. I've got questions about this weird house fire missing woman story. Have you guys been following this? So this is from Bainbridge, Indiana. Putnam County woman, Brittany Gard, 46 years old. She was reported missing a week ago when her house caught fire. And she was just found alive a few miles from her house. Now, local police and fire departments responded to the fire on October 1st. She was not at home during the fire, but her car was in the driveway and her purse was on the inside. So investigators, because they're not morons, said, you know what, this is a little suspicious. The woman's not here, her car's here, her purse is here, and there's a fire going on. They deemed the fire suspicious in nature. And her family said that September 30th, the day before, was the last time anybody had seen this woman, and a big search was on. People were fearing the worst, like law enforcement, fire department, drones. A lot of resources were used to try to find this woman. People were scared. Did she get taken away? Was she drugged? Was she injured in the fire? Tried to crawl to safety? We still have no idea because the authorities in this whole situation are not releasing any sort of info, like at all. Now, I was having a conversation with our news director, John Herrick, before I came on today, and I asked John, is it normal for these small towns in Indiana, and I guess all over the country, because John has worked in other places, but is it normal for these small towns to just want these stories to go away and not give you any sort of updates? To which his response was yes. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. I'm sorry, Bainbridge, Indiana, if you don't want the negative attention, a suspicious fire, and then you find the woman 2.5 miles away from the house after a big search. You say that she's receiving medical attention, but you don't give us any sort of updates. You can't just sweep this under the rug and not have people question what's going on here. Because very often, if you just give us a little bit of information, some of these conspiracy theories go away. But that's not what's happening right here. Family members posted to the Find Brittany Guard Facebook page around 7 p.m. yesterday, announcing that she was found alive near where she was seen. She was found in a wooded area 2.5 miles from her home. And again, big search had taken place. At this point, people were fearing the worst, even family members. But they found her in the woods. They told us that. Said she was receiving medical attention. Okay. But now what? Like, you can't just give us this little piece of information and then say, don't worry about anything else. We're going to keep on this story because I think this is fascinating. And a lot of these conspiracy theories would go away if the authorities in Bainbridge would actually just give us information. We're not asking to violate HIPAA laws. We're not asking to tell us what she was wearing when she was found. But you got to give us something because this was a big story. A woman went missing from a fire that was deemed suspicious. She was found in the woods. You're telling us she's getting medical treatment. And now, Frank Drebin, nothing to see here. Please disperse. Okay. I, for one, am not going to do that, and we'll keep trying to find some information for you. Doing some Indiana stuff. Update on the Mark Sanchez story. Learning a little bit more about the victim. And I don't count Mark Sanchez as a victim in this. When you're the aggressor, you're not a victim in anything. I count the victim as the 69-year-old guy. And this dude has got a pretty fascinating backstory. So he just became a United States citizen a couple weeks ago. It's a long process. Sounds like he was doing everything right. Had, work visas and all that stuff, became a citizen, okay? He was featured on the news here in Indy back in 2011 when his sister-in-law was shot in the head when she was working at a village pantry. This was a big deal. It happened on West 86th Street on October 21st, 2011. Marcy Burnell, she was shot by a 15-year-old punk overnight hours while she was working at a village pantry. And local news stations were interviewing the family, and the victim in the Mark Sanchez attack, Perry Toll, you're going to hear his voice here talking about his sister-in-law and the shooting that took place back in 2011.
Whenever we see this happening to somebody else, it breaks our hearts. She's one of the lucky ones because there are people who have died.
So that voice you heard, fast forward to 2025, that's the guy that was in the altercation with Mark Sanchez. And I started thinking about this, man. This guy's version of the American dream has not been good, right? Does everything right, goes to work, seemingly loves his family, takes care of his family, goes through the citizenship process the right way. And in his life, he's seen a sister-in-law get shot in the head. And while he was working, drunken, allegedly, Mark Sanchez picks a fight with him for some reason and almost kills the guy. And he has to defend himself. One of his buddies spoke to Fox 59 and talked about his character.
I'm nearly positive he's never been in a fight in his entire life. He's a very peaceful man. And in this situation, I think faith guided, as he told me, faith guided my hands to protect myself. Perry works in recycling. You know, he needs the money to be able to help take care of his wife's family. It takes a good man to be able to do something like that. He didn't ask for this. He didn't ask for this to come. And he's the type of person that would have tried to avoid it, and I think all the indication he was trying to avoid it, yet he was left with no other option.
And that's, again, a friend of the 69-year-old guy involved in the altercation with Mark Sanchez. I've never met Perry Toll. I have no idea what it's like to be in a room with this guy, but it sounds like, from all of the interviews I've seen between friends, family, people on his inner circle, just a hard-working guy that believed in the American dream. And so far, what he's seen is his sister-in-law get shot in the head because she's working overnight at a village pantry. And now this dude has to deal with the Mark Sanchez crap. Doesn't seem right sometimes, I'm telling you. One more nugget of Indiana stuff. An Indiana woman now has the Guinness World Record for her collection of 2,318 items related to the Batman villain, the Joker. So again, this is an Indiana woman. She now has 2,318 pieces of memorabilia about the Joker. Here she is.
Hello, my name is Megan Pierce, and I'm attempting to set the Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Joker memorabilia, and today I'm going to show you a few of my favorite items in my collection. I have some of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, Jack Nicholson Joker, Heath Ledger Joker, and the Jared Leto Joker, and quite a few other comic book magazines that I've collected over the years.
So my question to Matt Baer is, let's say you're at some sort of mixer, and you're working the room, and you're striking up a conversation with Megan there, and she says, oh, by the way, I hold the world record for Joker memorabilia. Are you now more or less likely to try to remove her pants?
I love a quirky woman. So
Okay.
I'll talk her ear off all
The
night.
fact she's a woman, I think I knew Matt Baer's answer anyway.
Oh, you know, I mean, come on. Yeah. Looking at southbound 465 on the east side, slow before 70, down to South Shadeland Avenue. Southbound 65-70, stop and go traffic, Michigan Street, down to the south split. That's a construction zone. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding Street into the south split because of rush hour, and northbound 65 slow from Raymond into the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the 95th anniversary sale of Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE Cafe and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, so Allison, I want to run something by you. Nigel's not here today. I know this is a shock to many, but Nigel is not here. Could we put his camera on you?
I don't...
Can I turn Nigel's camera and put it on you? Give the people what they want for just one day. Just one day.
If they want to see me press buttons, sure.
They do. I promise you. Okay. All right. I'm going to work on making this happen, so get your butts over to the YouTube stream, WIBC's YouTube feed. Give us a like while you're there. Our goal is to get 150 every day, but Nige is already on his fall break. I leave for mine tomorrow, but until then, we're having ourselves a party today. And coming up next, we've got an update on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We've got a reason to drink, and we're going to talk about Dolly Parton. She's not dead. That is coming up. Don't go anywhere. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Oh boy, the Fed just sounded the alarm. The stock market is dangerously overvalued, and if your retirement savings are tied up in the market, Could be smart time to protect and grow your savings outside Wall Street. One attractive option gives you 20% upfront bonus and a return that's averaged 10% annually for the past 10 years.
So here's the math. You invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. So that's $240,000. That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in the first year. So in the first year, that original $200K could become $264,000. All you have to do is set up a meeting with Bill Demery. He'll walk you through it. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Indy, stop using the fall to paint year after year. Do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now, you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Football season's back, so it's time for our annual Sit, Sleep, and Eat sale. Lowest prices of the year on all Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and Smith Brothers. Save up to $800 on mattresses by Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and King Coil. And save up to $400 on the Big Green Egg. Free delivery, interest-free financing. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
If your dream home includes enough room for family and friends to gather during the holidays or anytime, Joyner Homes can build you the most beautiful custom home right now and ready for you to move in next year. Joyner Homes builds character-rich, smart design homes. Check out their 5-star Google reviews, visit their model homes 7 days a week, learn about their in-home architectural team, and get inspired at joynerhomes.com, where you'll see pricing and floor plans. That's joynerhomes.com, JOYNER homes.com.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, we're here to support you every way we can. From answering your questions to helping coordinate appointments.
The whole team has been phenomenal there. They've made me feel like I'm a family member. I get hugs every time I go in. It's been such a blessing that the great care I've received has been so close to home.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
You better get to living, giving.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If I'm Dolly Parton, I'm a little ticked off at my sister right now. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. So Dolly Parton's sister goes out and basically says, pray for my other sister, Dolly. She's going through some health stuff. And then people started putting two and two together. Now, wait a minute. She canceled a tour, and now her sister is saying, pray for her. Is Dolly in trouble? People thought Dolly was dying.
And Dolly Parton is our national treasure right now. Whenever Betty White passed away, she passed the torch to Dolly Parton to be America's treasure. And we must protect Dolly at all costs. Well, Dolly Parton had to come out with a video basically saying, yeah, I don't know what the hell my sister's talking about. I've had a few challenges, but I'm very much alive.
I want you to know that I'm okay. I've got some problems, as I mentioned. Back when my husband Carl was very sick, I didn't take care of myself, so I let a lot of things go that I should have been taken care of. Nothing major, but I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, closer to Vanderbilt. There's just a lot of rumors flying around, but I figured if you heard it from me, you'd know that I was okay.
Rumors started by your sister. Again, if I'm Dolly, I take my big old fake cans over to my sister's house, kind of knock on the door and say, hey, I'm the meal ticket around here. It's called Dollywood, and I employ half my family at this thing. I give like my niece a singing gig there, and the reason you've got a roof over your head is because these big knockers and this voice, you need to knock off the crap. Like, if I'm Dolly, I'm just so tired of all the hangers-on in my family making life difficult for her. She carries that family. And I know this because I've been down to Pigeon Forge. I've been to Dollywood. They basically tell you all about the family structure because everybody that works there is usually related to Dolly in some capacity. We saw a Christmas show there. We got free tickets from YouTube friend Troy from the Smokies. And we said, oh, that'd be great. Dollywood at Christmas, let's go. And, of course, one of the performers was Dolly's niece. So it feels like she takes care of everybody in a pretty good way. So I decided to take matters in my own hands. The good news is that Dolly Parton announced she's okay with the video. The bad news is I've taken that video and I've turned it into something different. So if you want to go to the Hammer and Nigel show, Facebook and Twitter right now, just to prove that Dolly Parton is just fine, we've made an AI video of Dolly getting into an alley fight with Mark Sanchez. So if you go to the Hammer and Nigel show Facebook page right now and the Twitter feed at Hammer and Nigel, you will see Dolly Parton very much alive and very much fighting AI Mark Sanchez in an alley in Indianapolis. Allison, are you watching this right now?
On a loop. This is definitely my favorite AI you've ever done. She has never looked greater.
Is this better than Nigel fighting Mark Sanchez, or Nigel running from the police, or making out with a number of your favorite Democrat heifers?
I would love to see Dolly fighting Nigel next.
I will work on that. I will work on that. You visited the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently, right? You took a little roadie with the family, and on the way to Niagara Falls, you guys stopped at the Rock Hall.
Literally, this time last week, I was in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was really cool. It was very cool.
I was wondering how it was.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a trip.
The Rock Hall just rolled out their lineup of special guests for the big induction ceremony next month. Now, again, the people being inducted this year, the class, Cyndi Lauper, Chubby Checker, Outkast, The White Stripes, Bad Company, Joe Cocker, and Soundgarden. That's the class this year. But tell me if any of these performers do anything for you. Olivia Rodrigo, Doja Cat, Brandi Carlile, Elton John, David Letterman, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Iggy Pop. Any of those move the needle for you? Like, if you get tickets to this ceremony, are you sitting around going, I can't wait for Doja Cat?
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to bring in the millennial crowd there, maybe, especially with Olivia Rodrigo, who's a little younger. But David Letterman's interesting. I feel like he's kind of random in that mix.
Right. Elton John and David
Elton John
Letterman
would be cool.
Are kind of the elder statesmen of that group. If you guys need a reason to drink tonight, maybe you're starting fall break a little early, like a lot of folks around here are. Today is International Beer and Pizza Day. Okay? It's International Beer and Pizza Day. Not just in the United States, but all around the world. So, Allison, dealer's choice here. I've got a clip about pizza. I've got a clip about beer. Which one do you want to hear?
I want the pizza one.
Okay. Great moments in pizza history. This is when a guy broke into a Pizza Hut and called 911, and he told the operator that he was Jesus Christ.
High-Point 911, what is your emergency?
Yes, this is Jesus Christ, and I just broke into the Pizza Hut. I broke the window in. I'm here. Jesus is here now. He's back to earth.
All right, and so you don't work there?
No, I just broke in, had a pizza. I'm Jesus.
And what was your name again?
My name is Jesus.
What's your last name, Jesus?
Christ.
Okay. And what do you look like?
I look like Jesus. What else do I supposed to look like?
Why'd you do that?
Because I'm Jesus. I can do whatever I want. We're tired of Judases on this earth.
Sure.
We'll clean this earth up.
Good for you.
So what are you up to?
Well, where do you live at?
So
I don't. I'm from heaven.
How'd you get over to the Pizza Hut?
I'm from heaven, sir.
Okay. And did you break a front window?
Yeah, I broke the door window, sir.
And did you eat a pizza?
Yeah. Had a Mountain Dew.
Jesus Christ, Mountain Dew guy.
Who would have thought?
A lot of people thought it was just water or wine. Jesus Christ, Mountain Dew guy. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Last chance this week. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road, and the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
Fostech is the family-owned business that makes incredible firearms right here in Indiana. Fostech, created by 2 career firefighters and 1 U.S. Air Force veteran, they create special, unique firearms. American craftsmanship meeting cutting-edge technology. Their Origin 12 shotgun is the envy of the industry, and all their products are designed, machined, assembled, and tested right here in Indiana. Follow Fostech on Facebook and Instagram at Fostech_INC. Find a dealer near you, or visit Fostech.com. That's Fostech. Fostech.com. Use promo code WIBC for 10% off your order.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why President Trump is blaming Democrats in Congress. It's sunny and 65 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel, and this report is brought to you by Guardian Wells Financial. Here's what's trending at 3:32. It's for the prolonged government shutdown. Fox's Jared Halpern with more.
President Trump says the government shutdown, now in its 9th day, is damaging and will get worse the longer it goes on.
We'll be making cuts that will be permanent. And we're only going to cut Democrat programs. I hate to tell you. I guess that makes sense. But we're only cutting Democrat programs.
The president did not specify which programs could be on the chopping block. In the initial days of the shutdown, the White House Budget Office froze billions of dollars in infrastructure funding for Democrat-led states. The administration is also warning of layoffs, not just furloughs, for federal workers. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
With drought conditions worsening across Indiana, forecasters say there are some things that you need to keep in mind. John Hayrick reports.
Expect little to no rain for at least the next 7 days. Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you might also see some strong wind gusts at times next week, with highs getting up into the 70s.
Just also be careful if we get into these warmer days with drier, no moisture in the air. It's just more apt to get fire concerns. So just if you have any burn bans in your area, make sure you heed to them.
The latest U.S. drought monitor is showing some portions of northern Indiana under extreme drought, which means crops can get even more negatively impacted than normal, while lake and reservoir levels become very low. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
A man was arrested in Florida for the Palisades fire in California. Police say he was the one who started the smaller Lockman fire shortly after midnight on New Year's Day. That fire was put out at first, but the heat stayed trapped underground. When strong Santa Ana wind kicked up on January 7th, they caused the embers to flare up, turning it into a massive Palisades fire, which became one of the most destructive fires in California. And the Las Vegas Aces beat the Phoenix Mercury 90-88 in Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. And Game 4 is tomorrow, and the tip-off is at 8 o'clock p.m. WIBC News Time 3:35, your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 317-660-0929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Willis Financial at 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wealth Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com, or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Time is now 3:37. WIBC traffic now with Matt Bear.
East side, southbound 465 between Washington and Brookville Road. It's a crash in the left lane. Stop and go traffic back to 70, an 8-minute delay. Southbound 65 slow around west. Southbound 65 70 jam. North split to the south split. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding to the south split, delayed 2 minutes. Inbound 69 4-minute delay from 106th Street to 465. North side eastbound 465 slow after 865 over to Meridian for a 6-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee owned. B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products plus 2.99% financing at an additional $550 off your project. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home. To bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now your American Standard Cooling Weather Center forecast. Tonight will be clear areas in Indiana with patchy frost outside of the city. Temperatures falling into the 30s, partly cloudy Friday afternoon, and highs near 70. I'm Jake McDaniel on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I believe Eric Church in
concert tonight here downtown. I saw the big tour bus driving around the field house. If you're going to that show tonight, have fun. Hammer here filling in for Nigel. Normally it's the Hammer and Nigel show. Okay, let me take that back. Sometimes it's the Hammer and Nigel show when Nigel's here. But he's starting his fall break a little early today. I'll take mine tomorrow. Going to be a little short-handed around WIBC the next week as we take our trips with our families and kids and stuff. That's what it's about. So thank you so much for letting me rock this party solo with you guys today. I got Allison over here, and yes, we did put a dedicated camera on Miss Allison. So get your butts to the YouTube camera. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Serious question for you. You don't have to yell it out loud, but I'm just wondering, what is really a bigger deal in your mind? This historic peace deal that Trump has brokered between Hamas and the Israelis, or the scandal of the Biden DOJ spying on Republican senators? Like, this is really some next level Watergate stuff here. Everybody always talks about Watergate. Watergate was such a big deal. Anytime there's another controversy, people put gate at the end of it. Deflate gate. Or, in our case, the fourth floor bathroom might blow up gate. Anytime there's some sort of controversy, we put gate after it. That's how big of a deal that was. To me, this is much larger than that. And I know it might be apples and oranges, but the news space, the news cycle, cable news shows, talk radio, there's only so many minutes in a day to cover big stories. And I have seen the ceasefire, the peace deal all over the place. Not as much on the spying scandal. But let's start with the peace deal, because it is a big deal. I'm not trying to minimize it at all. It is a big deal. Hamas accepting the peace plan, ending 2 years of war in Gaza. Sounds like the hostages will be returned in exchange for those detained. That process is ongoing. I believe Trump said that might be taking place early next week. Last night, Trump called into Fox News, spoke with Sean Hannity, and I thought this was interesting. Yes, he was doing a victory lap, but he mentioned to Bibi Netanyahu of Israel, look, you guys can't be fighting the world all the time.
It's amazing. I've never seen anything. It's so good for Israel. I spoke to Bibi Netanyahu just a little while ago. He called. He said, I can't believe it. He said, everybody's liking me now. Meaning him. He said, I said, that more importantly, they're loving Israel again. And they really are. I said, Israel cannot fight the world, Bibi. They can't fight the world. And he understands that very well.
I thought that was interesting because I do love seeing all the celebration videos, people dancing in the streets, and people are legitimately optimistic here. Trump added that he's aiming to travel to the Middle East to have the official signing of this sometime in the near future. But I kind of seen this movie before. There was a ceasefire in place when the music festival was attacked. So yes, I love the peace deal. Peace is always great. A peace deal is substantially bigger than just a ceasefire. But it's only good until somebody breaks it. And that seems like that happens quite a bit in this little back and forth between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And again, Trump says the hostage exchange will take place Monday or Tuesday of next week. So on the other side of what is a crazy news cycle, you've got, and I can't do Nigel's Trump voice, I wish I could, deranged prosecutor Jack Smith. Prosecutor Jack Smith spying on private communications and travel of Republicans. Having feds spy on Republican senators and one House member. Now, the argument is, well, this was for the January 6th investigation. We have to fortify the election, and we have to make sure those no good, rotten, shady Republicans aren't doing anything illegal. Like spying on their personal communication devices, like what you're doing. Adam Schiff had over 3,500 pages of illegally obtained phone records. 3,500 pages detailing individuals that were spied upon, including some members of the press. Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, she spoke about this yesterday.
What we know is this, that the FBI under Joe Biden and under Barack Obama, that they exercised activity that they had no authority to exercise. And as Senator Haggerty mentioned, we know what they did in 2016 to the Trump transition team. And now we find out that after the Mar-a-Lago raid, after the indictment of President Trump, they surveil us, people who support President Trump, members who are all Republicans. But it shows you how out of control and rotten to the core and politicized the FBI had become, and how they had absolutely no problem at all whatsoever with political weaponization. We look forward to further investigation on this.
And good luck trying to find coverage of this story on CNN, on MSNBC. Because could you imagine if the roles were reversed here? If it were the Trump Department of Justice and Rachel Maddow had just found out that Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer had been surveilled on their private devices illegally? It'd be DEFCON 1. It'd be wall-to-wall coverage. But good luck finding any sort of coverage on that. And this is such a huge deal. So in-your-face corrupt, but crickets, for the most part, from about 90% of the national media. All right, did anybody like Yellowstone, the TV series? Allison, did you get into Yellowstone at all?
I haven't, but I feel like everyone else in the entire world has.
I liked Yellowstone.
Yeah.
The ending was crap. Kevin Costner wasn't there for the last half of the final season.
Oh.
And there was the writer's strike, and then some other stuff took place. He scheduled other things, and it just sounded like a bad breakup. And now we're kind of finding out a little bit more. So according to this story from the Hollywood Reporter, Kevin Costner on the set of Yellowstone got into like a brawl, like a physical altercation with actor Wes Bentley. Now, he played the role of Jamie Dutton on the show. He was also kind of the weird kid with the camera in the movie American Beauty when he was younger, if you guys remember that Kevin Spacey movie. But he was the odd Jamie Dutton in Yellowstone. That was his character. But the actor, Wes Bentley and Kevin Costner, threw down on the set to the point to where it ticked off the chick that played Beth, Kelly Riley. She started melting down and crying, and they lost a day's worth of filming. And the entire set blamed Kevin Costner for it, including Tyler Sheridan, who was the producer of all this kind of stuff. And Costner was like, screw it. I'm going to go find other work. I'm going to book myself for another project. I ain't coming back. So that's kind of how it all went down for you Yellowstone fans. Costner was just such a diva on that show. But I will say this, like the diva wide receiver sometimes you need in the NFL, you're willing to put up with this crap if you're winning, if the product is good. Because when he left Yellowstone, it sucked. When Costner's character was no longer on the show, to quote the townie in the movie Joe Dirt, it was a big old hunk of poopy. Which brings us to great moments in brawling history. In honor of Kevin Costner and Wes Bentley scrapping on the set of Yellowstone, great moments in brawling history. This is a report from a Philadelphia TV station about a big fight that broke out at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
A melee in Bensalem at a Golden Corral restaurant. Now police are trying to figure out how it all started. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Petrillo is in Bensalem tonight. Matt?
Well, I talked to a man who posted that video online. He says he was told that fight broke out after the buffet here ran out of steak.
Now, before you people start judging, okay? Before you start judging, I can't believe they're fighting at a buffet. I don't condone public brawling, but I understand it from time to time. When you're at a buffet and you run out of steak, attitudes can get a little salty, okay? I feel like if anybody's qualified to talk about being angry at a buffet, it's your boy here. Great moments in brawling history. This was a charity cornhole tournament, okay? Charity cornhole. This was a TV news report about a fight that broke out. You're going to hear the woman trying to calm people down, and the last sound you're going to hear, I'm just going to assume, is somebody that was in the mix.
Break it out! Stop, David! Stop! You got me, I'm a cup.
Stop it right now! We will stop this tournament! This is stupid!
All right, I'm going to need to hear that one more time. So close your eyes, set the visual here. It's a charity cornhole tournament. Maybe they're raising money for police. Maybe they're raising money for kids. I don't know. A brawl breaks out, and you're trying to figure out who's involved in it, and listen for the very end.
Break it out! Stop, David! Stop! You got me, I'm a cup.
Stop it right now! We will stop this tournament! This is stupid!
I love it! Those are my people, baby. We're fighting at buffets. We're going full Ric Flair at cornhole brawls. Woo! It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Gotta love October. It's here, baby. And so is the return of that chilly air seeping into your house. And if you have old, stuck, cracked, drafty windows like I did, you need to get a hold of Window Nation. WindowNation.com to eliminate those annoying drafts once and for all with some top quality replacement windows from Window Nation like I have at my house. Now, the deal this month, it's not going to get any better than this, so pay attention. Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all their windows, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. But this month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. There is no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. No payments for 2 years. So we're talking no money up front for 2 years. And that's a big deal with the holidays coming up. More details at windownation.com. That's windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me.
James followed through on what he said.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply.
At Price Point Comfort, we're here to keep your home cozy and comfortable, and we'll always have your best interests at heart.
Just go to PricePointComfort.com. Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Snap it. Send it. Hear it. Your photos, your video, your voice on WIBC. Join the text club by texting WIBC to 317-239-9393.
So looking at my YouTube feed right now of the Hammer and Nigel show, most of it, probably about 70% of it, thirsty dudes complimenting Allison. But one comment going back to the story we just had of Kevin Costner getting into an on-set fight while filming Yellowstone. David posts on the YouTube chat, good thing Alec Baldwin wasn't on the set fighting with Kevin Costner that day. Yeah, man, that might not have gone real well for Kevin Costner if old Yosemite Sam Baldwin was on the set. Matt Bear, how are the roads looking, my friend?
I was slow in some parts, Hammer. We do have a crash on the east side at southbound 465 between Washington and Burkeville Road, blocking the left shoulder right now. Traffic is slow past I-70. On the west side, southbound 465, stop and go from West 56th Street down 238th. Inbound 65 slows 21st to the north split, then stop and go from the north split to the south split. Eastbound 70 on a 5-minute delay, Belmont to the south split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B-Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing. Get an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Matt Bear, you going to bring your mangy ass in here about 4:35 and do some radio with me?
Best part of my week, Matt. I'll be there in a minute.
All right. Man, we got all-star cast in here today. We are rolling. And right now, the weather, this feels like October. This is good stuff. 64 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Going to take a little time out, but before we come back, go to Google, type in Hammer and Nigel Show store. Buy something from our merchandise store. Halloween shirts, novelty shirts, the all-new, may I suggest the roast beef and sausage shirts are there. Get your shirts right now. Just search Hammer and Nigel Show store or visit directly store.hammerandnigel.com.
Yeah, so if you have $200,000 saved up for retirement, but it's stuck in the stock market, there could be a smarter way to protect and grow your savings outside of Wall Street. And one option gives you a 20% upfront bonus with a competitive return that's averaged 10% annually over the last 10 years. So the simple math is you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000. Am I right?
The world of retirement and finance and money, it can be intimidating. There's a lot of numbers out there. But the guy we trust to make it all make sense is Bill Demery, your retirement guy, my retirement guy, based here in Indy. Set up that free consultation, and he will walk you through the entire process. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age. making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk with an oncologist within 48 hours of your diagnosis, so you won't have to wait to start finding answers.
They got me in pretty quickly to meet my team. They gave me the plan and what they knew and what they wanted to do. I was really impressed with the care team and the approach they took.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Whole home protection of your water for what matters most. People, pets, plumbing, and appliances. The sale's on at C&J, and it's a good one. 317-733-SOFT.
Shop the 95th anniversary sale at Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE, Cafe, and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, how the weather will roll out and advice that National Weather Service forecasters have for you. For the 4th year in a row, Indiana saw an increase in college enrollment, and you'll hear why Democrats are urged to pass the short-term spending bill to reopen the government. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Optimism that a peace deal will hold. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as the Israeli cabinet nears a vote on the Trump plan to end the war in Gaza after Israel and Hamas agreed to phase 1, including releasing remaining hostages and a ceasefire which would begin immediately if implementation wins approval.
These are the most tense moments. We've all covered this conflict for many years, and it's in these hours before a full ceasefire goes into effect that things often go wrong. And so the families of these hostages are waiting with bated breath. They want to make sure that this gets across the finish line. It does appear at this moment that things are moving forward as planned.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. There is some concern about future phases of the plan, which also calls for Hamas to disarm. But the focus for now is on phase 1. President Trump says the hostages will be back Monday or Tuesday.
I'll probably be there. I hope to be there. And we're planning on leaving sometime Sunday, and I look forward to it. And everybody I see is celebrating in Israel, but they're celebrating in many other countries too.
Of the remaining 48 hostages, 20 are believed to be alive. It's not clear yet how long it may take to find the remains of the others. The president's latest comments coming during an Oval Office meeting with the president of Finland, also focusing in part on the war in Ukraine, answering a question on whether the U.S. would defend Finland if Russia attacked. President Trump said yes, but that he doesn't think that will happen. Also saying again there may be more sanctions on Russia. On day 9 of a government shutdown.
Our position has been well articulated in defense of the American people. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, as Republicans keep pushing for government to reopen before talks on policy differences. 2 short-term spending bills failing for a 7th time today in the Senate. The Dow down 243 at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Frost might be coming to your area in Indiana as soon as tonight. For now, it's sunny and 66 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:02. That's why Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis has this advice for you if you have plants outside.
If you can take it inside, great. Otherwise, covering it with some sort of plastic can help avoid frost accumulation on the leaves.
He says temperatures will warm up into the 70s again next week with little to no rain possible. For the 4th year in a row, Indiana saw an increase in college enrollment specifically for people who live in the state. That's the biggest bump since 2010. Indiana's Higher Education Commissioner Chris Lowry tells Indy Politics they had the idea that they could create a better marketplace for education in Indiana.
Things like the pre-admissions work that we do now, it's kicking in. We thought we could create a better marketplace for students and their families to go to college here in Indiana.
That pre-admission strategy, combined with requirements for colleges to focus on retention, is driving a much-needed increase in Hoosier students staying right here at home. The government shutdown is highlighting not only the shortcomings of the government, but also the excessive spending happening in Washington, D.C. Johnette Cruz reports.
On Newsmax Thursday, Indiana Senator Jim Banks expanded his opposition to the government shutdown, claiming the fallout is impacting more than just federal workers. He highlighted that citizens across Indiana are also aware of the pattern of continuous government wasteful spending.
I get it. I hear from Hoosiers every day who understand that the government in Washington is way too big, and they think about all of the wasteful bureaucracy and bureaucrats in Washington, D.C.
Banks is urging 5 Democrats to join Republicans immediately to pass a short-term spending bill and reopen the government. Johnette Cruz, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indianapolis Colts face the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday for a 1 Eastern kickoff. WIBC News Time is 4:04. You've got traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
You've got WIBC traffic at 4:05. Here's Matt Bear.
Southside eastbound 465 crash between I-69 and 31 at Bluff Road. It's on the right shoulder with slow traffic past the I-69 ramps. Hendricks County crash westbound 70 after State Road 267 backed up for a mile. Eastbound 75-minute delay from Belmont into the south split. Southbound 65 slow from 21st and grinds from the north split down to the south split. A 5-minute delay on all of that. Looking at southbound 465 on the northwest side, slow from 71st down past 65. Inbound 69, a delay right now of 4 minutes coming in from 96th Street to 465. Crash on the west side, 16th at Holmes. Crash on the east side, southbound 465 between Washington and Brookville Road. It's on the left shoulder. We're slow 270 with a 4-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. School has started, but summer temps are still here. Stay cool with 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. 24/7 availability and free second opinions. Book now at onehourairindy.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Nigel is out, and there's nobody here to replace him. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the afternoon, but they're trusting this whole thing, the #1 rated afternoon drive show, not only in the state of Indiana, but in the Midwest, a show that has been named #1 in America. They're just going to throw the keys to me. Buckle up. As Joe Biden once said, get ready, Bal. You're going to in for a problem. My name is Jason Hammer. One half of this Hammer and Nigel show. Nigel's on a little fall break with his family. I'll be doing the same tomorrow. And for the first time in a long time, it actually feels like fall. Let's bring in our pal Marcus Bailey, meteorologist for Wish TV. Marcus, I'm a summer guy. I will never complain that it's too hot because I know what the other side of that argument is. Having to go outside, scrape my car, warm it up for 15 minutes just so I can go to the gas station to buy a fountain drink. That stinks. You don't have to do that when it's hot outside.
No.
But there are a lot of people that want a little bit of fall weather, and I think we're finally starting to see some.
A little bit, right? I mean, it was a little crisp this morning. Got some areas in the state, not here in the Indy metro, but if you went way up north, slipped into the 30s, and I think there was a little bit of frost that was reported. So, I mean, look, this is typical this time of October. I think we've had such kind of a longer summer. I mean, we're coming off a weekend that it was in the 80s, which is well above average for the early part of October. Normal high for this time of year is typically around 70. So we're actually close to where we should be for this time of year. But, I mean, that does come with, some mild days like where we're at right now. It's pretty nice. But then you kind of have to deal with some of those chilly overnights, which is kind of the territory that we're in right now.
I dig the chilly overnights. I'm not going to lie, because I like to be cold when I sleep. Yes. I want the blankets and the window open. If that makes, sense at all to anybody else, I don't know. But that's the way we do things in the Hammer House.
I get it. I'm 100% with you. And you being a sports dad, and I'm kind of, getting in that wheelhouse now. I got a lot of kids that are involved in sports. The summer was brutal, man. I was, not even a half an inning in baseball, not moving, and I'm already drenched in sweat. I'm kind of over that right now. I don't want to skip ahead because I remember how spring was. When there was spring ball and I'm freezing and it's miserable. So I don't want to go to that extreme. But
right.
Somewhere in the middle. But I'm with you. I love bonfires in the fall. And it's frankly, I mean, now recently it's been much better, but you think a lot of the summer, it was not enjoyable to even be outside in the evening because it was 75 and swampy. It was like Florida. So,
right.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm with you. I like the cooler overnights, but I'm not ready to just kind of give up on, having some comfortable afternoons. And thankfully, we still have a little ways to go before we completely flip the switch.
Now, Marcus, before we get into the weekend forecast, Friday night lights forecast, Colts tailgate forecast, all that stuff coming up here, let's have a conversation about being a ball dad here because, again, okay. I coached baseball for a long time, and, my oldest son, was on the bowling team and played baseball forever, did all the sports. I will say this. You're going to miss it when it's done. You won't think that you will. You're going to be like, oh, my God, I've got a chance to breathe. My wife and I, we can actually go out on vacations together again now. But it's totally weird. And I know there are people in our audience right now that can relate where you go from chaos, yep. And then all of a sudden you're like that meme of Narcos just sitting there on the swing looking around, not knowing what's going on.
I appreciate that, and I hear that all the time. I have coworkers that obviously they have kids that are in college or even older now, so they tell me the same thing, and I feel that because this is the downtime. I would say my kids aren't like heavily into a bunch of winter sports. It's much more in the spring and summer.
Sure.
So I get kind of a little bit of a break, and so give it a couple months, I'm going to be kind of itching and be like, all right, let's get out and play a little ball. Let's do some fun stuff. You know what I mean? So
I get it, man.
I'm 100% there, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to soak it in. It is doubly rough with my sleep schedule. Baseball season at the end. Sometimes I'm not getting home until 10 o'clock at night, and then you throw the Pacers in the finals. I'm maybe sleeping 90 minutes before I go into work.
Right, because you have to be at work at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
My alarm clock goes off at 1 a.m. during the week, and that's just on a normal, quiet weather day. Like tomorrow morning, my alarm's going off at 1. You fast forward into January, and we're getting a big winter storm. I'm probably getting up a couple hours earlier than that. So,
wow.
Yeah, it can be a real short sleep. But listen, it's all worth it. And like you said, I have to remind myself there's only a very small window that I'm going to be able to do this. So I try to enjoy it. And I can sleep when I'm older, for sure.
Absolutely. And you know what? Your kids won't say it at the time, but they've got a dad in their life. And, man, that seems like it's something that's in short supply in a lot of places. So I think that's awesome.
Yep,
all right.
I love it. Love every minute. Yep.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah.
If somebody's going out to a high school football game on Friday night, or maybe they want to go downtown and tailgate for the Colts and Cardinals this Sunday, what are we looking at?
So I'll start with tonight. I think tonight is going to be kind of our coldest of this stretch when it comes to overnight. Cold enough, in fact. There are frost advisories. Basically, the far south is Marion County. Indianapolis is included in that frost advisory, and then it goes all the way up to the Michigan state line. Does that mean that everybody is going to have frost? No, but if you've got some plants that you still want to hang on to, consider covering them up, or if you can, bring them inside. Usually in this kind of scenario, it's going to be places that are protected from any wind or low-lying areas that can maybe get a little bit colder or whatever. So just know that mid-30s to upper 30s is probably what you're looking at tomorrow. It's going to be a little crisp. Now, we're going to rebound massively tomorrow. Sunshine just like today. I've got us up to 70. So nice bounce back in the afternoon. And I don't think we're going to be quite as cold tomorrow night, thanks to a few clouds kind of rolling in. So kickoff temperatures for high school football, probably around 70, maybe in the upper 60s, and then by the end of the game, slipping into the mid-50s. So it's going to be comfortable. Maybe a hoodie, that's it. Winds are going to be light, no issues there. Weekend actually even looks better. I don't know if we're going to get below 50 for overnight lows both Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And I think Saturday and Sunday, I think both days I had us at 72. So that's putting us a little above average. Wind's not an issue. We're completely dry. A lot of sunshine. I mean, I don't predict mechanical issues, Hammer, but I don't see any weather reason why they wouldn't have the roof and window open on Sunday. I think it's about as perfect as it's going to be. I think it was a little bit too warm last Sunday,
right,
which is why they didn't open it. That's my guess. I don't know what their threshold is. I know if it's too hot, they won't open it. But look, the low 70s, light wind, I don't see any reason why they don't open things up on Sunday. So should be a really fun atmosphere downtown on Sunday.
Hey, man, I know the Ursay daughters listen to this program. I've been tipped off to that before, so okay. I'm with you on this one. It feels like the perfect weather to have that roof open. But here's what I learned in week one, Marcus. The roof was open in week one of the Colts season. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about sunscreen because my seats were in the end zone area, and the way the sun was designed, it roasted me like I'd been drinking out at the track all day.
It gets real hot. If you end up, I mean, it doesn't obviously shine everywhere in that stadium, just the way it's built. But if you're in the sun, you will bake real fast. Yeah, so just make sure you take that under consideration because I mean, like I said, there may be other issues that I cannot predict when it comes to weather, but I don't see any weather reason why they wouldn't open things up. So I would just plan on that they're probably going to do it. It would be my educated guess. So.
Last thing here, Marcus, and I need your honest opinion as a Colts fan, all right? Because I'm a fan, you're a fan. I will be rooting for the Colts to win, but if he plays, I want Beech Grove High School product Josh Fryer, who's on the Arizona Cardinals, to do well. Is it okay for me as a Colts fan to root for a local kid who went undrafted but was just busting people up in training camp, made the team? If he's active, he's been inactive last couple of weeks. But if he plays, man, I want him to do well. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I mean, why not? Like, hey, the Colts are putting up like 40 burgers. Right. They do that again, I think, hey, we'll be fine. Like, Arizona can score like 7 to 14 points, and our guy here from Beech Grove can just light it up. That's totally fine. And everybody wins, right? I mean, it's like no different than if you're wanting to do, because I'm a big fan of your podcast, if you're wanting to do a little bet action individual player, prop bet on somebody else. You're rooting for them, but you're rooting for your team to win.
And I like to point out, Marcus, the Colts are undefeated and average 40 points per game since I had Botox live on the air.
By the way, how are you feeling about that? I was listening to that live last week. I kind of felt uncomfortable for you.
That was the goal, anything for the show. But no, I feel great. And true story, I never thought in a million years this would happen. I was at the Colts game last week against the Raiders, and Crystal and I are walking to our seats, and some dude yells out, "Hammer! Bleeping forehead looks great." Like, that is such a cool moment for me.
Mission accomplished.
Right. Where can we find all of your work and latest updates, my friend?
Social media, I'm on all platforms, Marcus Bailey Weather, and then I'll be there bright and early tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., Wish TV, Channel 8, locally here in Central Indiana.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV, my man, we appreciate you.
We'll see you.
Again, Matt Baer, it's a true story. Since I had on-air Botox, not only do I look like a young Bradley Cooper, but the Colts are averaging 40 points per game. I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get Botox too, just to see what it does for us, unless it offsets the
Envy Spa
goodwill.
and New Pal, they took good care of me, and now my face looks like the firm athletic thighs you would find on a dancer in Vegas.
It's a beautiful thing. Looking at Hendricks County right now, Hammer, we have westbound 70 after State Road 267. This is a crash. It's a mess. We have 2 right lanes blocked on the main line, leaving only the far left lane for travel, okay? And this backs up traffic, not quite to Ronald Reagan Parkway, but we are backed up for a couple of miles here, and our delay is coming in at 24 minutes. Now, if you're trying to get on westbound 70 from 267, the ramp is open, but man, is it tricky. We are funneling traffic all the way over into that left lane, so you can enter westbound 70, but you're going to have to get in line and make your way into that left lane carefully, of course. On the south side, it's a crash on eastbound 465, and that's a Bluff Road after the I-69 ramps. Has a slow back to the White River. Crash on the west side, 16th at Holmes. East side crash clear, southbound 465 after Washington Street with stop and go traffic back to Penn Pike. Inbound 65 delayed 6 minutes, 21st to the north split. Southbound 65 70 stop and go traffic from the north split to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy pressing for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We are just 2 thumbs up away on the YouTube chat from 200. Screw it, man. Let's see if we can get to 3 today. Let's see if we can get to 300, because we do have a dedicated camera on producer Allison. If you're just getting in your car, if you've been working all day, if you've had a rough day, boss is all over your ass, you can take a look at the beautiful producer Allison and all of your problems will go away. All we ask in return is you go to WIBC's YouTube page, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. We're at 198. Let's get to 300. Let's see if we can get a 3-burger on the board here. WIBC's YouTube camera. There's a camera on me, and I look fantastic with my Botox. But then there's producer Allison over here. Seriously, if you look close enough at either one of our streams, you might get pregnant. That's how good looking everybody is in the studio right now. So jump on WIBC's YouTube chat. Give us a like. It's 64 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
The Hammer and Nigel show, we don't use anything other than American Standard heating and air equipment, because American Standard heating and air built to a higher standard. It's as simple as that. There are tons of great local independent American Standard dealers right here in Central Indy.
How about Family Heating and Air, the Morris family and their staff ready to hook you up this fall? You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure your system is ready for the fall weather ahead. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've already got a quote from another heating and air company and feel something isn't right, call Family, because nobody takes care of you like Family. I've called Family before. I talked to Malia. Great customer service. 317-577-8077. 317-577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course. And it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Football season's back, so it's time for our annual Sit, Sleep, and Eat sale. Lowest prices of the year on all Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and Smith Brothers. Save up to $800 on mattresses by Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and King Coil. And save up to $400 on the Big Green Egg. Free delivery, interest-free financing. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Program brought to you by the Attorney General's office right here in the great state of Indiana. The AG's office reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million damn dollars in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and most importantly, free. Check it out, indianaunclaimed.gov. If you're short on cash and you're looking for maybe a little pick-me-up before the holidays, what do you got to lose? It's free. Go to indianaunclaimed.gov. Now, normally, I would run these questions by Nigel, but since Nigel is recovering from a rash on his taint, Allison will host, and she'll run these stories by me.
I like it. You ready?
Let's do it.
A Spanish chef made a burger so expensive that you need an invitation to even eat it. Do you want to guess how much it costs?
An invitation-only burger by a Spanish chef.
Uh-huh.
$500?
$11,000.
Come on.
Is this anything?
No, this is ridiculous. Hold on. $11,000 for a burger. I'm looking it up right now. And I guess it's booked at this restaurant until 2026. You've got to get on a waiting list to pay $11,000 to eat this burger that's made with 3 of the most rare forms of meat in the world. I'm sorry, but I'm willing to bet if I walked over to Five Guys right now, if I took my ass over to Steak and Shake and got a Frisco melt, I'd probably still have the same experience and only pay at the most $10 as opposed to $11,000.
100%.
Nah.
Plus, I don't want to taste what rare meats taste like anyway. That sounds sketchy.
I'd be willing to try it, but I'm not paying $11,000. No, absolutely not. That's a big nothing burger. Not okay with it.
According to a new report, the average person has paid around $150 over the past year in tips that they're not comfortable with. And 65% of people say they are fed up with tipping altogether, which is up from 60% last year. That's a lot, but I'm pretty much in all of these camps. Is this anything?
Yeah, I think this is something. Now, listen, I am a good tipper.
Mhm.
Like, I tip bartenders well. I tip my waitress and waiter well.
Absolutely.
But if I walk up to the counter at Subway and they throw together a cold cut combo for me and they flip around a screen, like, I don't necessarily feel like that should be something I'm tipping on.
And at least they're putting meat on the bread. I mean, there's people now where it's truly they just hand you the coffee. It's crazy.
Right.
And then they stare at you and watch you and they judge what percentage you're giving them.
Where they get you to is ball games. So if you go to a Colts game or a Pacers game and you buy a hot dog and a Coke and they just hand it to you, they'll turn that screen around and expect anywhere from 15 to 20%. So I totally get being worn out by tip culture. Now, if I'm in a restaurant and my server is going above and beyond, or even if my service is slow, but it's one person trying to work the entire room because nobody wants to come to work, I will reward that worker. I'm a good tipper, but I don't feel like you should have to tip for your coffee just because they hand it to you.
Totally. All right, a fight broke out, of course, at a Family Dollar in North Carolina over a NASCAR shirt.
Bingo! Like, I feel like that's a North Carolina bingo card, right? Family Dollar fight NASCAR t-shirt.
And it ended with one person pointing a gun at the other person.
That's a coverall. There we go.
We even have a clip of a family member that was at the Family Dollar talking about the incident.
I'm afraid for those that are working, that are still employed there. She asked her to give her the shirt, that she wanted the shirt. So the lady, of course, told her no, she wasn't going to give her the shirt. Came back with a gun, waving it at everyone going in the store. When the lady seen her, she pointed the gun at her head. And the little girl just laid there in like fetal position.
Now, to be fair, the t-shirt was a classic, vintage, old-school Dick Trickle t-shirt.
Spelled Richard.
No, it wasn't, Allison. No, it wasn't. No, I'm making that up. I just wanted to say Dick Trickle on the radio. Not okay with this. You can't be pulling out your gat over the final Kyle Busch t-shirt. You can't be pulling out your gat over... I watched Rusty Wallace win, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. You can't do that. I like racing. You guys know this. I'm more of an IndyCar guy than I am NASCAR. But you can't be threatening to kill people over the final Intimidator Dale Earnhardt #3 t-shirt. That's not how a functioning society works. But it does bring us to great moments in NASCAR history. Ladies and gentlemen, Indy's own Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
What angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little. I'm going to bust his ass.
Yeah! Bring that smoke to him, Tony. Bring that smoke. Smoke. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, man, the Fed just sounded the alarm, and the stock market is dangerously overvalued. So if your retirement savings are all tied up in the market, this could be the smart time to protect and grow your savings outside of Wall Street. One option gives you a 20% upfront bonus, and it has a competitive return that's averaged 10% annually for the past 10 years.
If you've not yet got the ball rolling on your retirement, what are you waiting for? Bill Demery, my retirement guy, your retirement guy, based here in Indy. Set up a free meeting with him, and he will walk you through the process of how you could invest $200,000 and turn that into $264,000 in 1 year. Call Bill Demery today. Set up that first free meeting. 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A rock legend was at a hospital after a car accident. Sunny skies, 66 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:31. But now Kiss bassist Gene Simmons is recovering at home, says his wife. This was after the crash, which happened in Malibu, California on Tuesday. Fox's Michelle Polino has more.
Simmons' Lincoln Navigator hit a parked car on Pacific Coast Highway around 1 p.m. He told deputies he may have fainted or passed out before the crash. And a KISS rep confirmed he's already back to work. Simmons reassured fans on X, writing, "I'm completely fine. I had a slight fender bender. It happens. All is well." Kiss is set to reunite next month for the Kiss Cruise Landlocked in Vegas event at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, their first performance together since wrapping their end of the road tour in 2023. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Drought conditions are expected to persist in Indiana. WIBC's John Herrick with that story.
The big reason for that is because there's little to no chance of rain expected across the state for at least the next week. It's also supposed to warm up.
We're expecting a rebound back into the above average temperatures. They'll mostly start next Monday. That's when we start seeing temperatures back into the upper 70s Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you might also get some frost over the next couple of days. So if you have plants outside, you'll want to cover those up or bring them inside. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Las Vegas Aces beat the Phoenix Mercury 90-88 in Game 3 of the WNBA Finals last night. Game 4 is tomorrow night for an 8 Eastern tip-off. And now your WIBC Closing Bell report. At the closing bell today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed the day down 243 points to 46,358. The S&P 500 dropped 18 points to 6735, and the NASDAQ also lost 18 points to 23,024. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaimed their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic now, Matt Baer, what you got?
Jake, over in Hendricks County, westbound 70 at State Road 267 is trashed. There is an accident that has blocked most of the interstate. Only the far left lane is available right now. And if you're trying to enter westbound 70 from State Road 267, you'll have to merge into that far left lane. So the crash is partially blocking the entrance ramp. It's blocking 2 right lanes on the main line, and traffic is jammed all the way back to Ronald Reagan Parkway. Delay time 40 minutes. Might be US 40 time. Looking at the south side crash, eastbound 465 after Harding. A crash on the right shoulder, slowing traffic past I-69. Eastbound 70 jam Tibbs to the south split, delay time 11 minutes. Looking at inbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian, then southbound 6570 jam from the north split to the south split for a 9-minute delay. Inbound 69 slows from 106th Street to 465 for a 4-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing, and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A frost advisory will be in effect for us from 2 to 9 a.m. Friday morning as low temperatures fall into the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then we're in for a fantastic end to the work week for our Friday with plenty of sunshine and near normal temperatures. Highs will be in the upper 60s to low 70s by Friday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer here, flying solo today. Big Nige fell off a cliff. He's dead. Matt Bear's in studio. How are you, my friend?
I'm worried about Big Nige now. A little bothered, you know.
He fell off a cliff. He's dead. He'll be back next Friday.
Earlier it was some sort of hemorrhoid, I think, you know. So prayers for Nigel. Prayers for Big Nige.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the next T-shirt that we're going to put on the merchandise store. Save Nigel. A little tribute to Ferris Bueller. How are you doing, man?
I am fantastic. It is a gorgeous day on Monument Circle. I couldn't be better, man. Thanks for having me in today. I know it's not Friday, so I really appreciate you bringing me in.
Normally, you joined us on Friday, but fall break is happening. A lot of people are taking time off around the station. Nigel's off today. I'm going to be off tomorrow until next Wednesday. I've never been to Wyoming. We're going to Grand Teton National Park, Jackson Hole area. I've never been to that part of the country. Usually, if I'm flying out west, I'm going to Vegas. But I'm excited for this. I'm normally one of those dudes, Matt, that vacations in the same spots every year. But this was a Christmas gift to my youngest, who's really into national parks, and he's going to school to study to be like a ranger and all that kind of stuff. So we told him, you can pick any national park in the country. We're going to go. And he said he wanted to go in the fall to Grand Teton. So, hot damn, we're flying out tomorrow.
You were hoping he'd say Indiana Dunes. Maybe one of those national forests down in Blue Ridge.
Is there a national park in Fort Lauderdale? Is there?
Right. I know a good one next to the Bellagio. No, that's going to be an awesome trip. And I heard that the barbecue, maybe I'm the only one that's heard this in Wyoming, it's really good. So just eat so much, eat the whole thing.
Dude, it feels like that would be good steak country, too.
Yes. The buffalo used to roam in Wyoming, so
That's right. I can't wait to eat a buffalo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Give me any part of it, too.
Hey, tomorrow it's a big day. J.D. Vance and some of the Good Time Party boys from Washington are coming in town to hopefully embarrass Rod Bray. That's my opinion. But last time the VP came here, there were a lot of road closures people weren't ready for.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing about this. Because it is the vice president, they don't like to advertise their exact route of travel. And I understand that. I really do. I get it. As a traffic person, I always want to have all the information for everybody, but this one's a little bit tricky. Last time, you remember he was here in August, of course, and kind of doing the same thing. So all of a sudden, what you might find on the west side are ramps closing, entrance ramps, maybe off ramps, some lane restrictions, these intermittent 20-minute closures on I-70. And you can find
I got caught in one. I was trying to come downtown, and all the ramps on 70 were shut down near the airport because I live on the southwest side. And, I had to take, Kentucky Avenue back roads in.
Oh, man, that sounds awful. And that's what you're in for, if you get caught on the interstate. And, again, he was here around mid-morning, and maybe that's an approximate time you can kind of expect things to happen, maybe around 10 a.m. That's a guess, an educated guess by me here at the moment. But that's what happens. I'm thinking Holt Road, Harding Street, maybe those downtown ramps like Weston Meridian, everything out to Ronald Reagan Parkway in Hendricks County are in play. The airport collector, you might get shut down on the collector. Again, how long was your wait? Do you remember when you were closed on 70?
So I knew a back way in, so I didn't wait for it.
That's right. You just said that.
But I went to one area near Sam Jones Expressway, and it was closed. It's like, all right. So I tried to backtrack, went down Holt to try to get on 70 there. Closed. It's like, well, that sucks. Backtrack, went down Kentucky Avenue.
It almost sounds like it might be better just to get it out if you get caught in one of these closures. You can reroute, and we always recommend a safe reroute if you are available to do that. But when it comes down to burning the gas and trying to get around Indianapolis and some of these southwest sides, especially with all these road projects they have on the city streets, I might be tempted to go ahead and sit on 70, whether it be westbound or eastbound, just for a few minutes and wait for everything to reopen. Because once they're through, there's no reason to keep it closed until they come back. So things will reopen, and hopefully in a timely manner. But if you can be patient a little bit and just chill out, put on WIBC, maybe a podcast about sobriety, always a recommendation. Maybe just say,
maybe there's the best traffic reporter in the city. It's going to get you up to date minute by minute. Maybe.
If you're into gambling, we have a podcast for that too. So there are 1,000 things you could do to sit and entertain yourself while you wait. Just be safe. That's all. We just pray and hope everybody has a good time when they're traveling in. That's all,
Matt Baer joining us. Normally joins us on Friday, but I'm off tomorrow. Nigel's off, so we wanted to get him in today because it is a busy weekend. Vice President Vance coming in town, and then we got a Colts game on Sunday. The Arizona Cardinals. I mentioned earlier, I'm looking forward to a local kid, Josh Fryer, plays on the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know how much time he gets, but he made the team as an undrafted kid coming out of high school, went to Beech Grove. I hope he does well. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
I want the Colts to win, but I want him to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the same vein, my favorite football player of all time is Marvin Harrison, and his kid's going to be here with the Arizona Cardinals, and I'd like to see him make a couple of catches. I don't want to see our defense get burned, obviously.
Right.
I'm a Colts fan first.
I don't want to see him have a $160 and 3 touchdowns, but
yeah, like the Chargers guy, Nakua, or no, the Rams guy. Excuse me.
Puka Nakua.
Yeah, Puka Nakua. Yeah,
that's actually the injury that Nige has right now. He's suffering from Puka Nakua.
Yeah, I heard that. It's kind of like dysentery. But I'd like to see that Marvin kid have a great game. I loved his father so much as a Colts fan, and I'm kind of hoping Marvin Jr. comes here and kind of maybe falls in love with the city. So when his rookie contract is up, he's like, "Hey, man, Indianapolis." Looking pretty good. My old man did pretty good there. Maybe I can do pretty good there. Go hook up with Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, and make a career with it here at Indianapolis. As far as traffic, man, at north side, east side, we're going to have lane restrictions. Both sides of the city. It's going to be east side and north side on 465. Now, I'm thinking specifically if you're coming to the game using 465 on the east side, all those ramps at Washington Street 40 are going to be closed until after the game. It's not because of the game. It's for road construction project, so keep that in mind. On the north side.
That's the double whammy, right?
Yeah. You
Colts game lets out, and by the way, here comes lane closures.
Now, you're going to be able to use those ramps after the game, just not going to the game. However, on the north side, it's 465 in both directions. We have lane restrictions between Township Line and Michigan Road, and we're talking about 2 lanes cut down in each direction, so that could cost you a few minutes. And on the south side, you have Madison Avenue construction. You have I-65 construction. I-65 going northbound, so that could cause you problems coming in, say, from Southport going to the game. Madison Avenue construction in both directions. I'm in that construction zone way too often. It is awful. You have dump trucks coming in and out of it at all times, and we have had a couple of serious wrecks there as well. So allow yourself an extra couple of minutes, man. Enjoy the day. It's going to be beautiful. Maybe the roof, it's going to be beautiful, so the roof will be closed probably. But enjoy the time. Come on in and just take your time. Allow a couple of extra minutes. Like the Colts offensive line. Allow extra couple
there you
of
go.
minutes. How about that? A traffic analogy, just like that. So, yeah.
Bring it a full circle, baby. Matt Baer, the traffic beast, joining us. And yes, he's on the YouTube camera right now. We've got one dedicated camera on Allison, one dedicated camera on Matt. If this doesn't handle all you horny SOBs, I don't know what does. Okay? We got something for everybody on the YouTube cameras right now. WIBC's YouTube page. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. You are part of the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Ryan Hedrick from WIBC News, who's been phenomenal on covering this whole Mark Sanchez story, by the way.
I'm thrilled for him. He's been doing it.
But amazing. You guys do such a great job with supporting sobriety. Both of you very open about your past addiction and struggles. What's the soundbite we're going to hear today?
Well, I am a recovering alcoholic and addict. Ryan's a recovering addict, so we're always trying to find ways for caregivers of the alcoholic and addict, whether in use or in recovery. If you're in use, that means you're still getting drunk or getting high, and we're always trying to find ways for the caregiver to handle the likes of us. So we did a little role play. We did a little method acting.
Oh, here we go.
Episode.
Matt Baer role playing. Yeah. Indianapolis, your dreams have come true.
But every caregiver of the alcoholic or addict has received 1 or 2 phone calls, okay? One has the alcoholic considering relapse, and we're making that call in advance, which is good, which is what we're supposed to do. The other has the alcoholic already in relapse, which is bad, that I've done maybe a dozen times in my life. Here's an example of the caregiver, played by Ryan, speaking with an alcoholic in use, played by me.
Like we had an old rotary phone.
Great acting.
All right.
Matt, is that you?
Woo! Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Man, you should I just friend requested this woman.
Wait, slow down. Where you at, man?
Man, I'm in the apartment right now. How you doing, dude?
Slow down.
How you doing, dude?
You are drunk right now.
Yeah, what, dude? Freak you, man. Dude, you're drunk. You're drunk.
I'm not drunk.
Yeah,
actually.
dude, you're high as a kite.
You're calling me at 2 in the morning. You're waking me up.
It's 1 o'clock Central Time.
I have to be in the newsroom in 2 hours. What are you doing to me, man?
Traffic, you know, dude. Fucking traffic.
You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm coming over with 3 people, and we're going to do an intervention.
Man,
well, not really.
You, dude.
Oh, dude, I have made those phone calls. I have received those phone calls. I've been on both sides of the spectrum there, Matt.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, when Ryan says he's going to bring over 2 or 3 people, he probably is. That's the thing. I mean, the guy is so tenacious. He's so industrious. And there was a lot of realism in that call, even though we were acting it out. I mean, I can only do one impression, and that's of Matt Bear drunk. And I do it really well. And
that's such a thing people would say. I just friended this chick on Facebook, and now I'm outside her house.
It's totally drunken behavior, man. I mean,
it is.
The things when you go is down as far as I went into alcoholism, everything feels normal. If it doesn't feel normal, who gives a damn? You know, that is really the mentality you have. So in this episode, we're all about, and that was just kind of what happens with the call companies, but the episode is about the solution. What can the caregiver say to these people, to myself, if we make one of these types of phone calls? I'll give you a hint. If we're already drunk, one of the best things the caregiver can say is just stay put. Where are you? Stay put. Now, I gave it away at the beginning. I'm in my apartment. Stay put if you're drinking or high, and then you can negotiate or speak there. Now, the problem is when we're drunk or high, we're not going to be very receptive of what the caregiver says to us.
And you'll make even worse decisions like, I don't know, say Mark Sanchez has allegedly been accused of.
Absolutely.
Let me say all my legal words there.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, if he is guilty of that, I mean, when this was all going down, I wasn't a violent person when I was drunk. But I can absolutely see myself doing that, thinking it was funny, something of that nature, getting into somebody's truck and harassing them. And I'm not saying going as far as to attack him, but the things you think that are funny when you're drunk just aren't funny to sober people.
Matt, where can we find the podcast?
It's Supporting Sobriety at Apple, or you can find it on Spotify, any major podcast provider. You can find us on Instagram and X at @sobriety_pod. And it's just a privilege to do so. And thanks for letting us play the Cliffhammer. We really appreciate it.
Every week, if we can help one person, man, I think it's well worth it. And you're an awesome dude. So thank you, Matt.
God bless you guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Hey, how the heck are you? Hammer here from the Hammer and Nigel Show. And my friends at Diamonds Direct, they are the place to go if you are thinking about getting that amazing gift ahead of the holidays. Or, guys, if you're one of those dudes planning a big engagement, whether it's at Thanksgiving, whether it's at Christmas, New Year, now is the time to go to Diamonds Direct. They have the biggest selection. They have the lowest prices. And all of the staff members are trained to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck. It doesn't matter what your price range is. They've got something for every budget. And the customer service is why I keep going back. There are a lot of jewelers in this city, but nobody has better customer service than Diamonds Direct. The lifetime warranties, the 110% sellback plan. Nobody takes care of you like those guys do. So stop by. It's on the north side, Keystone at the Crossing. It's right by that green bridge. Walk through that beautiful showroom and say Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
At Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, our mission is to provide honest assessments and recommendations. We promise you'll never be sold something you don't need.
PricePointComfort.com. They are your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Up to 50% off and 2.99% financing, plus receive an additional $550 off your project.
Because at B Window,
we mean business. We mean business.
Snapped a great photo? Witnessed something newsworthy?
Hey, there's some news.
You can text it right to the WIBC newsroom. Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393.
All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Westbound 70 Hendricks County crash after State Road 267. All lanes of the main line are open. The entrance ramp from 267 to westbound 70 is still partially blocked. And we are backed up to the airport collector for a delay time of 32 minutes. Eastbound 70 jammed from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic 29th down to the South Split. And that's a delay of 8 minutes. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products plus 2.99% financing and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Sunshine 64 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Went a little long with Matt Baer. But when we come back, Senator Jim Banks will join us. I want to talk about this Jack Smith spying scandal. This is a much bigger deal than what the national media is making it out to be. We'll talk about that. Day 9 of a government shutdown. That's all coming up with Indiana Senator Jim Banks next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
American Standard Heating and Air. They are built to a higher standard. That's why the Hammer and Nigel Show only uses American Standard equipment. We only use American Standard independent local dealers like the one that Hammer is going to tell you about right now.
Make some noise for Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville. Danny Reinhardt started Reinhardt Heating and Cooling 39 years ago. They're one of the longest tenured American Standard dealers in all of Central Indy. Danny's sons and daughter are among some of the well-trained experts that are on staff at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, hooking up Hendricks and the surrounding counties. Make sure that system is ready for that chilly fall air. Call Reinhardt in Danville, 317-745-4526. Ask about indoor air quality, too. 317-745-4526. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Chris was able to save a life. When Chris died, it was devastating and it was very sudden. We learned that Chris was already an organ donor. There is a lady that is alive with Chris's liver. That is just totally amazing to me.
Be a hero. Save a life. Say yes to organ donation.
It made me so happy because Chris was our hero. Because of him, we are all now organ donors.
Learn more at DonateLifeIndiana.org.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, you'll hear an update about a woman who went missing not too long ago. The life of a baby who was found dead in Indianapolis will be honored later this month, and the NBA preseason started this week, and you'll hear how one player is doing. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HG1 Indianapolis, and it is now 5 o'clock.
It's his plan. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. But President Trump is thanking the many mediators and countries involved in securing a possible Mideast peace.
People are so happy about it. I've never experienced anything quite like it. I've never seen such universal praise for being able to do something. No, it's something that nobody thought was possible, and we're going to end up having peace in the Middle East.
He plans to travel to the region this weekend after Israel and Hamas agreed to phase 1 of the plan, though it's not a done deal just yet.
Phase 1 is, if you will, the simple part. That is the release of hostages, the withdrawal of the Israeli military. They will still stay in about half of the Gaza Strip, and the release of about 2,000 Palestinian prisoners.
20 living hostages are expected to be released Monday or Tuesday, but Hamas has already suggested it may take longer to find the remains of others. Fox's Jennifer Griffin spoke with Israel's foreign minister.
Is this the end to the war in Gaza?
Well, this is the implementation of the first phase. We don't have any intention to
renew the war.
Israel's cabinet is set to vote on implementing phase 1 of the peace plan, which would trigger a ceasefire. For now, there is no full ceasefire yet, and the Israeli military confirms a strike in northern Gaza today, targeting a Hamas terrorist cell the IDF says was operating near troops and posing an immediate threat. Palestinian reports of 4 people killed and many buried in rubble. Just getting word another one of President Trump's longtime political foes has been indicted. New York Attorney General Letitia James facing a mortgage fraud charge, a source tells Fox News, in the same Virginia district where the federal prosecutor was recently replaced and where former FBI Director James Comey was indicted 2 weeks ago. America is listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You might remember Brittany Gard. Still sunny skies and 66 degrees on Monument Circle. The low tonight is 41. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. She went missing from her Putnam County home about a week ago. Her family got the call last night that she was safe.
We had some alerts set up so that if Brittany's phone did become available, that it would, start squawking, and it did. And, we immediately started to look and track her and see where she was.
Her brother-in-law, Kenny Bowen, spoke with News Nation from a hospital in Danville. A public funeral is planned for a baby who was found dead in Indianapolis last month. John Herrick reports.
In a Thursday morning news release, Marion County Coroner Alfie Ginty said the funeral service is set for Saturday, October 25th, inside Mount Vernon Chapel at Washington Park East Cemetery at 1 o'clock. That'll be followed by a graveside burial ceremony. The baby was found dead September 1st at Brookside Park, and police are trying to figure out how that happened. The child's been claimed in death by the He Knows Your Name ministry, which helps provide dignity and identity to abandoned children. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A longtime friend says Perry Toll was linked to the weekend stabbing of Mark Sanchez. Greg Kiesling says Toll is a kind, non-violent man who once helped his wife and her sister after she was shot.
And how he rallied around his wife's sister and really sacrificed his own life to try to help take care of her, as she was injured terribly.
Court records say Toll first tried to use pepper spray before stabbing Sanchez multiple times during a confrontation. Toll has filed a civil lawsuit against Sanchez and Fox Corporation, while Sanchez also faces criminal charges as Toll recovers. And the Indiana Pacers reunite with the Oklahoma City Thunder this Saturday evening in the NBA preseason. Head coach Rick Carlisle said today that Pacer guard TJ McConnell will be out for at least a month because of a hamstring strain. The tip-off is at 7 o'clock Eastern. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Fall is great in Indy, so don't ruin it by painting. Do what Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
WIBC traffic at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
Improvement in Hendricks County. Westbound 70 crash cleanup continues, but all of the lanes of the main part of 70 have reopened, and instead of stop traffic back to the airport collector, we are moving. Still stop and go around Ronald Reagan Parkway, but you start to get going after that. Eastbound 72 downtown stop and go traffic. Belmont into the South Split, a 7-minute delay. Inbound 65 delayed 9 minutes from 21st down to the South Split. Inbound 70 slow after rural. Eastbound 70 slow from the north split out to rural. And then on the east side, southbound 465 slow traffic 72, 74. Northbound lane slow from 70 up to Penn Pike. Northwest side northbound 465 stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 69 dragging from 106th Street to 465, a 3-minute delay. Crash west side 16th at Holmes. Crash Crawfordsville Road east of High School Road. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products, plus 2.99% financing, and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned. Trust your home to BWindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A frost advisory will be in effect from 2 to 9 a.m. Friday morning, with low temperatures falling into the upper 30s to low 40s. Friday will be a beautiful end to the work week, with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out, and it's day 9 of the government shutdown. Let's find out what's really going on. Joining us now on the hotline, Senator Jim Banks from the great state of Indiana. And Senator, while this government shutdown takes place here, what does that mean for you? I don't think you're out playing golf every day or treating this like some sort of e-learning day like the kids do in school. What's your schedule like?
Well, we are here. We're about to go through a series of 20 votes on the defense bill, the NDAA, and try to pass that out of the Senate. And then on a day, to answer your question, Jason, on a daily basis, we're voting on the spending bill and forcing the Democrats to cast. I think they've cast out 8 or 9 votes against the spending bill to reopen the government. And let me tell you, when this gets really sad is beginning tomorrow, when we have troops not getting paid because these Democrats don't want to fund the government for another 7 weeks at the same spending level that many of them voted for back in March. Now they're playing politics. They're closing the government because they're demanding $1 trillion more in spending for health care for illegals and COVID era Obamacare spending. COVID was a long time ago, but they want to spend another $1 trillion on that stuff, and that's why they're sabotaging this process, holding the government hostage. And in this case, who they're hurting are the people who matter most, and that's the young sailors, airmen, soldiers, and Marines out there serving our country. Many of them are enlisted. They're young. They don't make very much money to begin with. They got babies. They got families that they're trying to feed, and they're not going to get paid because Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are refusing to pass a bill to reopen the government. And that, to me, that's shameful. They deserve to hear from people that they're going to vote against them, that they're going to hold them accountable for this in the next election. We can't let them get away with it.
And what's wild to me, Senator, is that there are Democrats, some of their own voters are going to be affected by this. Not everybody in the armed services is a Republican. There are a lot of Democrats, and they're going to be affected by their own party here. There's no way this could be a winning strategy.
I don't think so. I mean, Chuck Schumer said last night, he told one of the Washington, D.C. reporters that this is going really well for Democrats. Every day it's getting better for Democrats. And I thought, what a shallow thing to say when we have military people all over the country not getting paid. They're intentionally hurting the most important people in our country, the people wearing the uniform, serving our country. Many of them young, don't have a lot of money to begin with, and Chuck Schumer says this is going. Democrats, it's not going well for the people who they're screwing over in the process. So it goes beyond that. I mean, think about if you live in a military town. I served in the Navy Reserves. Go to a lot of these military towns, and they're built up by family-owned restaurants and small businesses, and those people are going to suffer, be affected by this as well, as these troops don't get paid, don't have money in their pocket. And also, one more note, the Trump administration put out a memo earlier this week, and I thought was really significant. They said that furloughed federal government employees aren't necessarily entitled to back pay. And that's really important because we've had these shutdowns before, and federal employees in Washington go home and they're furloughed, they don't work, but then they end up they're used to getting paid anyway. They don't work, but they still get the back pay. And the Trump administration is saying to the Democrats, in this case, you really are screwing over your voters. And in the Beltway of Washington, D.C., where you have hundreds of thousands of government employees who might not get back pay, who aren't going to get paid, who live in Democrat states like Virginia and Maryland, they're probably calling their senators right now and saying, "What are you doing to us?" So I think there are big effects here that, in the end, aren't going to turn out well for Schumer and his Democrats. And there have been 3 Democrats in the Senate who have been voting with us. So we have 55 votes. We need 60 to move this spending deal forward. And I imagine they're having some tough conversations in their private foo-foo lunches talking about the shutdown. There are probably a few of them that are ready to break loose and show some backbone and tell Chuck Schumer that they're going to go out on the floor and do the right thing, but that hasn't happened yet.
Is Schumer really calling the shots? I mean, I know you don't spend probably a lot of time, investigating what the Democrats are doing, but we keep hearing these reports that it's really AOC that's having people come to her office here, and she's laying the groundwork to primary Chuck Schumer. Is Chuck really the one in charge?
Yeah, I think you just nailed it. I mean, he's worried about AOC running against him in a primary in a couple of years when he runs for re-election again. And the reason that we know that's true, because back in March, Chuck Schumer voted for this exact same spending bill that we're just asking to carry on for another 7 weeks for a short term, a much shorter period of time than what he voted for. So he's inconsistent. Why is he inconsistent? Because back in March when he voted for it, AOC and the radicals in his party criticized him for not being tough enough on Donald Trump and not fighting back harder against Donald Trump. So now he's afraid of his shadow. He's shutting down the government. Again, he's screwing over our military personnel. He's screwing over a lot of people who are going to be affected by this. And he's doing it because of pure politics. He's afraid of the radicals. That's how radical and out of touch this Democrat Party is today, that they would put politics over the needs and the will of regular people who are counting on us to do the right thing and reopen the government. It's really shameful, and it should be embarrassing for him.
Speaking to Senator Jim Banks here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Senator, I mentioned earlier that I'm a little disappointed that this whole spying scandal isn't a much bigger deal in the media. I get that there's a lot going on, the peace deal in the Middle East and the government shutdown, but this Jack Smith spying scandal, if you look at it, pound for pound, this is bigger than Watergate, but trying to find any sort of coverage on this from about 90% of the national media, it's kind of hard right now.
Yeah, I mean, you had 9 senators that they were spying on, and a lot of these senators are friends of mine. I'm talking to them, and they didn't know about that until this news broke that they were spying on their locations, and their phones were tapped by the FBI. So you're right. I mean, this is a huge scandal, and President Trump is focused on reopening the government, and he's focused on negotiating peace deals around the world. But President Trump is also a president who believes in accountability, and we saw that Letitia James was just indicted a little bit ago. We've seen a few others, but there are bigger fish to fry here, and Jack Smith is one of them. So we have to make sure that we hold people like this accountable, to send a signal to corrupt government officials and administrations in the future that you will not get away with it. And that's why I think we have a moral duty to provide accountability. That's what I'll be fighting for. The media doesn't want to talk about it because the mainstream media is complicit in all this. They covered all this up after Jan 6. Remember, I was tapped to be the Republican ranking member in the House of the Jan 6 Select Committee, and Nancy Pelosi blocked me from fulfilling that role because we were going to expose a lot of things that were going on back then that Pelosi and the Democrats didn't want to be exposed. So a lot of this goes back to the 4 years under Biden, and we have a narrow period of time here to hold people accountable, and it's my intent to fight to make sure that we do.
Senator, we got about a minute left here. I want to be respectful of your time, but I know another issue that you've been pretty passionate about is the 2020 census letter. For those people who may be on their way home from work right now, and they've seen some of the bigger stories in the news cycle, but they're not really sure what's going on with this. Walk me through why this is important.
Well, again, this is one of the biggest scandals in politics in my lifetime. The 2020 census, when the Biden administration took over, and months after they took over, they took the census data and they used a really shady privacy formula to shield illegals in the census data. We now know that to be true because the census is admitting it. They're admitting to us right now that they miscounted 14 states, and in the process of that, they undercounted in Republican states like Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, Texas, and Illinois, and they overcounted. Guess where they overcounted? In blue states and Democrat states: Delaware, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, Ohio, Rhode Island, and Utah. I am not making this up. The census has admitted it by using this privacy formula to shield illegals. And if you do the math on it, this is why this is significant. If you do the math on it, Florida should have 2 more congressional seats today than what they have. That would likely be Republican seats. And Texas should have at least 1 more. States like Minnesota, Rhode Island, and Colorado, less congressional seats. And guess what? The congressional seats are also how you calculate the Electoral College vote. And why is that important? If you played this out, Donald Trump would not have had to have won the Midwest seats, the so-called Rust Belt seats, states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin that he fought really hard and narrowly won, that he had to win the presidency. He could have lost all those states, and he still would have won the Electoral College and been the president of the United States of America. So why am I so keen on this right now? I wrote a letter to Secretary Lutnick at Commerce, who oversees the census, calling for them to release the raw data. Because as states like Indiana, the Vice President Vance is flying to Indiana tomorrow to meet with state Senate leadership to talk about midway redistricting. And we need to take this into account in a state like Indiana. The numbers that they used back after the 2020 census to draw the lines to begin with used this privacy formula that counted illegals. So the data that they used back then was flawed anyway. There is real justification for Indiana to redraw our maps, and I think this scandal proves it. We can't sit back and capitulate and give in to the Democrats and let them steal congressional seats that could give them the majority, which would give us another Speaker Pelosi or Speaker Jeffries, Democrat Speaker, that will impeach Donald Trump over the next 2 years if they get the majority, or even take away Electoral College votes and steal presidential races in the future because they manipulated the census data. We need a new census. President Trump has called for that. But in the meantime, release the raw data and figure out how to put a citizenship question on all future census efforts, whether that comes now or the next time it's scheduled to come in 2030.
A lot of stuff going on. Senator Jim Banks, might not be the most popular stories we're talking about right now: government shutdown, scandal, redistrict controversy. But we appreciate you taking the time to join us. Hopefully, when you come back here in a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about how the Cubs came back from a 2-0 deficit. How does that sound?
That's right. Go Cubs. You got it. Have a good day.
Thank you. Matt Bear standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Hendricks County westbound S70 crash at State Road 267. All lanes of the main part of 70 are open, but this crash is still partially blocking the entrance ramp. So kind of a tricky entrance here at the moment to westbound 70, but you can do it. And traffic is going to be slow on westbound 70 from 267. Not quite to Ronald Reagan Parkway, but we do have a delay of about 11 minutes. Inbound 65, 7-minute delay 21st to the south split. Eastbound 70 delayed 5 minutes. Tibbs to the south split. Northwest side northbound 465 stop and go traffic. 86th Street up to 865. East side southbound 465 delayed 6 minutes from Penn Pike down to Brookville Road, and now we have a crash reported on Brookville Road to the west of Ritter Avenue. That's at Irvington Avenue. Crash west side Crawfordsville Road, east of High School Road. Traffic sponsored by Aleve. Traffic and Body Pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
65 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up here in just about 15 minutes or so, Rob Kendall. He's going to flip out, rip his shirt off like Hulk Hogan, and go off the rails. That's coming up a little bit after 5:30. But up next, it's been a little while since we've had one of these. A lewd new dude in the news. Come on back.
Man, I'd take advantage of this sale going on right now at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. So what's going on now at Thompson Furniture is the annual Sit, Sleep, and Eat sale. All-time lows on Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and Smith Brothers. Save $800 on mattresses by Sealy and Tempur-Pedic. Save up to $400 on the Big Green Egg. Free delivery, interest-free financing. Are you kidding me? This sale ends Monday.
Owned and operated by the same family since 1927. It's in Columbus. And these guys treat you like family. They've been big supporters of our show since we began. They love it when Hammer and Nigel listeners go down and check out their store. And they still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles. Everybody else is raising their prices. Thompson Furniture takes care of the Hammer and Nigel show listeners. ThompsonFurniture.net. Stop by their store in Columbus. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 in the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. In the Hardee's parking lot near Walmart at West 86th Street and Michigan Road. Also in the Hardee's lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Last chance this week. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35. West 86th Street and Michigan Road, and the second location in the Hardee's parking lot at the corner of Franklin Road and Pendleton Pike. Get there before the truck is gone.
The fall season continues at Sundown Gardens. Visit the Garden Center for a large selection of locally grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and fall decor. Now's a great time to shop and save. Happening now at Sundown Gardens, save 50% on all pottery and herbaceous perennials. The nursery is still full of a great fall selection of trees and shrubs. Save 50% on select nursery items. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on moneyline, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine. and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax, and not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
This hour powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Air dealer.
'Cause I'm just a teenage dude.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Speaking of dirt bags, Rob Kendall's coming up here in just a few minutes. Make sure you tune in for that. I'm Jason Hammer, flying solo today. Big Nige is out. Jump in the YouTube chat. How has the solo show been today? Has it been awful? Has it been good? What do you think? Jump in the YouTube chat. You can roast me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can roast Nige. You're not going to hurt his feelings. Let us know. Just curious to see how this little dynamic works in case somebody goes on vacation. In the meantime, I can't remember if it was Kierkegaard or Benjamin Franklin who once said, and I quote, "Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you get naked and show the police your genitals, and we call it a lewd, nude dude in the news."
Here's another lewd, nude dude in the news.
Dateline, Georgia. An escaped inmate was arrested after leaving a work site and later found running up and down a Georgia highway, smacking on cars, buck naked. The inmate was arrested and then returned to the prison camp. He had to finish his work. They put some clothes on my man and said, "Yeah, that's great. You escaped and you're naked, but you better get your butt out there and pick up some trash." Now, if you remember, we had a story similar to this last year from Kentucky, which brings us to great moments in naked men hitting cars on the highway history.
Sheriff's deputies were responding to the area of West 5th Street Road and Highway 1554 in reference to a naked man running down the road and hitting passing vehicles. When deputies arrived, they say they saw a man inside the home naked with blood and mud on his body. After a struggle, 41-year-old John Stephanopoulos was eventually taken into custody. They say he kept repeating that he used, quote, mushrooms with Jesus, and they were playing a virtual reality game together.
I've seen it a million times. You get naked, you're smacking a car. Maybe there's blood on you, maybe there's feces. But it's because you're playing a reality show game with Jesus. That's all. That's all that it is. I've seen it a million times. All right, get ready, boys and girls. The unofficial mayor of Brownsburg, Indiana, a former elected official, a former tax-cutting machine, and a guy that's really small, so I bet he's got a really hard handshake. Rob Kendall's coming up to go off the rails right after we break down and have a look at the news with Jake.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Food companies are working to get rid of synthetic flavors and dyes. You've got sunny skies and 67 degrees on Monument Circle. Lows tonight in the low 40s. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 529. This follows actions taken by the Trump administration earlier this year regarding food additives. One company leading the charges is PepsiCo. CEO Roman LaGuarta told Fox Business' The Claiming Countdown that a new line of naked snacks will be available on shelves by the end of next year.
Doritos and Cheetos with natural colors. We're going to have that, during next year.
As you said, Lay's and Tostitos are out of artificials by the end of this year.
He says that the new clearer snacks were very successful during testing, and the company is currently focused on trying to minimize any cost increase for the consumer. California Democratic candidate Katie Porter is dealing with some criticism after videos resurfaced. In one, she's seen angrily scolding someone while recording in her kitchen. And in another, she becomes frustrated with a reporter, telling them to not ask any follow-up questions during an interview. Republican opponent Steve Hilton tells Fox the story with Martha McCallum to react.
She's really presenting the attitude you get from the Democrats generally in California, this arrogance. This is what you get from one-party rule. 15 years now of one-party rule in California, and the Democrats have just got used to having it all their own way. They're never held accountable for all their failures.
Porter says it's no secret that she holds herself and her staff to a high standard. She added that she is working to be more intentional in showing gratitude to her staff for their important work. You're paying an average of $2.92 a gallon of gas in Indiana today, says Gas Buddy. And there will be a fashion show this weekend in Indianapolis in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. WIBC's John Herrick reports.
It's called the Stars of Pink Fashion Show, and it's set for Saturday at the downtown Marriott. Dana Lardy is a breast cancer survivor who will be there. She tells Wish TV.
For me, being a part of the fashion show means community, showing other breast cancer patients that we all come together and support each other.
Among other things, the fashion show will also have a tribute to Haley Chaplin. Chaplin was a breast cancer patient who died in June. The goal of this event is to raise $200,000 for a mobile unit to support breast cancer patients. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
WIBC News Time is 5:32. Your traffic now with Matt Bear.
Inbound 65, 9-minute delay, 29th Street down to the South Split. Eastbound 70 delayed 8 minutes from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. Eastbound 70 to the east side, stop and go traffic from the North Split out to Emerson Avenue. Inbound 69, stop and go from 106th Street down to 465, delayed 5 minutes. East side, northbound 465, slow after 70 up to 69. Southbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 down to 74. Crash on the east side, 21st at Mithofer. Crash on the southeast side, Brookville Road, US 52 west of Ritter. That's Irvington Avenue. Crash on the west side, Crawfordsville Road, east of High School Road. Traffic sponsored by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A frost advisory will be in effect for us from 2 to 9 a.m. Friday morning as low temperatures fall into the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then we're in for a fantastic end to the work week for our Friday with plenty of sunshine and near normal temperatures. Highs will be in the upper 60s to low 70s by Friday afternoon. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, but still beautiful for this time of the year with temperatures rising into the lower 70s with light winds in place too. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Brock Jindal.
Noise pollution.
Oh, yeah. You know you love him. You can act like you hate him, but you love him. Ready to go off the rails is former elected official, former tax-cutting machine, and the host of the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, Rob Kendall. Rob, how are you?
Great. Thank you, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Number of things we can get to here. Let's start with Governor Braun coming by our program yesterday. We tried to throw as much at the governor as we could. We had 15 minutes. Okay, that's the time that we're allotted with the governor. I try to be respectful of his time, but there was so much stuff we wanted to get to. So it was kind of rapid fire. And my job, I feel, Rob, is to get the governor on the record so all of our audience knows exactly where he stands, and then they can have their own arguments. You're somebody that's been very critical of the governor. What did you hear? What did you think?
Well, I think you guys do a great job of that. I don't have that skill set, and I think you guys do a great job of getting to a bunch in a very short period of time.
And I know because your listeners are so passionate. Like, if I don't walk over and, like, fight the governor, like, they get mad. Well, how come he won't go on Rob's show? Like, Rob would punch him in the mouth.
So we led our show with your interview today, and the big takeaway to me was there were two major things that he appeared to have no idea about, and that was that the vice president was coming to Indianapolis on Friday and that BlackRock is buying AES.
So for me, I thought the big takeaway would be that Governor Braun definitively put the stop to all the chatter that the National Guard might come to Indy. Because I know we say this a lot, but it's a staggering statistic. Indianapolis's homicide rate, once you factor in the population difference, it's nearly 10% higher than Chicago's. That's a big deal because we look at Chicago being this big hellhole, and yesterday the governor made it perfectly clear that's not something that he feels is going to happen.
But how could you not know? I mean, we did the math, and we believe for like 6 hours the public had been aware the vice president was coming to Indianapolis. We talked about it on our show. He was on your show at 4:15. We kind of did the math. We came up with like a 6-hour window. That's when the public knew. Surely the people in the State House knew before the media got a hold of it. So how could the governor, who has made redistricting kind of a thing, now he says he's not going to call the session unless there's the votes, but he clearly wants it. He was lobbying again for it yesterday on your program. How could he not know that the vice president is coming here? And this is a guy that's his friend. He served in the Senate with him. I can't imagine that his staff for 6 hours knew the vice president of the United States is coming to Indianapolis, and nobody was like, Mr. Governor, the vice president will be here tomorrow.
I think I got the impression that he knew somebody was coming from Washington, and we'll get into that here in just a moment. But I don't know if he definitively had heard that it was going to be the vice president.
6 hours. 6 hours? Nobody tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, it's happening. You know, your buddy's coming.
So give me some behind the scenes. And we talked about this a little bit earlier when I jumped on your program, but you're the elected official. You've worked in the State House before. You've been the candidate and the advisor. Is there any way that because they were on the road a lot yesterday, they were traveling, they were going to Fort Wayne, they're going from one event to the other, that they might not have known?
They don't have phones? Do phones stop working in Fort Wayne?
I'm just asking.
No,
I don't
there's no
know.
reason. Like, look, all joking aside, this is like a serious issue because only one of two things can be true. I don't think he was lying to you. I mean, when he first said it, I thought, well, maybe that was his attempt at a bad joke and it just fell over flat. But then we'll get to the BlackRock thing here in a second. So I don't think he was joking. So either one of two things. Either, and this, I'm not trying to kid when I say this, either his memory is so poor that he doesn't remember his staff telling him, or his staff, who must not have Twitter or any social media themselves or text messages or cellular telephones.
Or radio.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how, this is, like, to me, this was the issue, is that major events are happening, and he is the governor 6-7 hours later, appears to be totally unaware of it.
Okay, so some of the other topics that the governor covered with us yesterday. Again, we threw a lot at him. We discussed the delete tweet gate. What do you think his response was like from that? Because I was actually fine with it. Like, he's kind of had this take of, look, if it takes me deleting a tweet for prosecutor Billy Badass over here to put his first tweet out in 3 years, I'll start deleting a lot more. I thought that was a pretty good comeback.
The problem is, though, you can't say you didn't know J.D. Vance was coming and act like you run your own Twitter. There's no way if you ran your own Twitter or had anything to do with your own Twitter, so somebody's doing it for him, which I think we all know that anyway, but he kind of spilled the beans on himself that he doesn't run his own Twitter. My point is, just clarify the tweet, retweet it, go, doesn't matter. Indy sucks. It's a hellhole because of you, Ryan Mears.
Why do you think so many people believed it right off, the bat without looking into the official incident?
You look like you have something to hide or that you did something wrong. And you and I have had this conversation. We agree on this. Never delete a tweet. Now, unless you want to avoid the grammar police or the spelling police.
Or if you've uploaded a wrong picture.
Right, exactly. That stuff's fine. But you're putting it back up. it's like you're swiping it from the record. And then the biggest wimp in the whole thing was the lieutenant governor, who was delete tweet guy. And then after Braun retweeted, just goes, same. Same. That's all you could come up with? Same?
We asked about the IEDC audit, the Indiana Economic Development Committee, and you've been covering this in detail. Now, this is a thing that's very in the weeds. To break this down in its easiest tense, Rob, I explained it like this yesterday. The haves really got theirs, but the have-nots paid for the haves, and somebody looks like they're laundering money here. Is anybody going to be prosecuted? Is anybody going to be at least disciplined in any way? That's what we positioned to the governor yesterday. What did you hear?
Well, and it is. It is probably the biggest story in the history of this state. I mean, you're talking through the life of the IEDC, billions of dollars that were taken from poor and middle class people. They were deliberately housed in this quasi shadow government operation where you couldn't get hardly any information about it. And now it's come out that just between 22 and 24, hundreds of millions of dollars went to some of the most powerful, connected people in our state, or companies they're affiliated with, or people they're affiliated with. And in many cases, the people delegating the money were the people who were benefiting from the decisions that were being made. And I felt like the governor's just like, well, that's in the past. We've learned from it. We're moving on. Nothing to see here.
He put it on the inspector general yesterday, said, look, we did the investigation. The inspector general has the information. Now it's in their court.
But you're the governor. You're the governor. What do you think should happen, Mr. Governor? You're essentially in charge of the IEDC. And by the way, him trying to act like, well, that's all Holcomb stuff. I just had a dealing with the IEDC for stuff happening in Brownsburg, which last time I checked, as of a month or two ago when this was going on, this giant HarperCollins warehouse, which is getting all sorts of IEDC incentives, that's under Braun. I asked a question in a meeting, hey, I'd like to know what the incentives were to bring these people here. You know what they told me? No. So it sounds like the IEDC under Braun was running the same way as it's running under Holcomb. And again, when you say no criminal anything, well, then what's the inspector general doing? Why is the inspector general investigating? We're led to believe Braun says nothing criminal, and the inspector general's then going to go, no, Mr. Governor, I do think there's something that should be referred to the authorities. Nobody's going to be held accountable. All this money out the window, all these people, these rich, powerful, connected people. And you know why he won't touch it? It's the same reason they won't touch Diego Morales, because the money that these people bring back to the Republican Party, the money these politicians bring, the money that are brought back to these politicians, they're not going to indict themselves. They're not going to take these people down. There's too much money to be lost.
I know you talk about Diego Morales a lot. You've been talking about Bo Bai a lot. If that's what the matchup is going to be, if Diego comes out of convention, if Bo Bai comes out of convention, if that's the matchup, who are you voting for?
Oh, without it, I would vote for an aged potato skin over Diego Morales. He is incredibly corrupt, unethical. He's a rotten individual. And everybody should be cheering. This is the one time we should be cheering for a Democrat. Because if you get a Democrat in that position, they can open up that office and we can potentially see every dirty thing that administration, because that's what he calls it, right? The Morales administration, what they've done. And not only that, but maybe we'll find out what Republicans knew about what was going on and who was complicit in it going on. What an opportunity to see how the cabal actually works. Yeah, absolutely. Not a doubt in my mind. If it's now, look, I hope David Shelton wins at the convention. I hope it's a Shelton versus Bai matchup, and that's a different conversation. But I wouldn't hesitate to vote for just about anybody unless they got a picture up in the post office against Diego Morales.
Come back for one more segment.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whole home protection of your water for what matters most. People, pets, plumbing, and appliances. The sale's on at C&J, and it's a good one. 317-733-SOFT.
Shop the 95th anniversary sale at Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE, Cafe, and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com.
At Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, our mission is to provide honest assessments and recommendations. We promise you'll never be sold something you don't need.
PricePointComfort.com. They are your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Forget digging through clutter to find what matters. The WIBC Daily Newsletter puts the biggest local stories and exclusive show moments in your inbox and lets you skip the scroll. Sign up by clicking Connect at WIBC.com.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, northbound 65 on the south side, stop and go traffic. Raymond into the south split and southbound 65 delayed 11 minutes, 29th Street into the south split. Westbound 70 slow after rural, eastbound 70 slow out of the north split to Emerson Avenue. On the east side, southbound 465 slow roll from 70 to 74 in the northbound lane slow after 70 up to 69. Inbound 69, 5-minute delay 106th Street to 465. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go 86th Street up to 865. Southbound lanes dragging in spots from West 71st down to Crawfordsville Road. Crash Brookville Road west of Ritter. It's at Irvington Avenue in a crash on the east side, 21st of Mithofer. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, employee-owned B Window means business. Receive up to 50% off all products plus 2.99% financing and an additional $550 off your project. Trust a local, trust employee-owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
65 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall, the Kendall and Casey Show, Monday through Friday, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. All right, so it sounds like J.D. Vance and company are coming to Indy tomorrow, and the goal if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, is to see how many Republicans don't want this whole redistricting thing to take place. And if they don't want it, then they're going to go to their bosses, which would be Rod Bray in the Senate, Todd Houston in the House, and read them the Riot Act. We may disagree on this one because anybody that could publicly humiliate Rod Bray, you've got a soft spot in my heart. And I'm surprised that you're not this way, Rob, because it's Rod Bray and it's Todd Houston and this is such a true term, the butt sniffers right underneath of them. This is why we don't have property tax relief.
Then why aren't they doing it for that? Why didn't he come? I mean, they're basically becoming Polly Walnuts, if you believe the reports, that they're going to basically come, look these rank and file state reps in the eye and go, oh, you're not voting that way? Would you like to think about that again? What, are they going to come in with baseball bats? I mean, is J.D. Vance going to have the
Don't threaten me with a good time, Rob. I'm kicking my feet up wearing the sombrero. I'll allow it.
Look, why didn't they come to help the people? Why didn't they come strong-arm these state reps and senators on property taxes or utility bills or the gas tax? They're coming to help the Republican Party. And if they gerrymander these maps further, all you're going to do is incentivize bad behavior. When my kid misbehaves, when she does something wrong, I put her in timeout because she has to learn that bad behavior is unacceptable. What the Republicans are trying to do, because they know people don't want this because they're not governing in a way that people want more of them, they're saying, well, if we can't win it fair and square, let's just rig the maps further. If you rig the maps further, you're just going to incentivize Republicans to keep raising taxes and growing government? No. I say you earn it by governing better, not us bailing you out by changing our maps.
And I see where you're coming from, but I think we are looking at this from two different perspectives. There's a lot of reasons to dislike Bill Belichick, okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. But if somebody can just get up into his face and read him the Riot Act one time and humiliate him in front of his peers, okay, I'll take that as compared to nothing. And that's where I'm at with Rod Bray. Such a smug, arrogant, just rotten to the core. This is the guy that feels like if you want to have a rally at the State House, your rally, Rob,
That's
which
right.
I was the MC of.
You did great.
And he threw a fit about it because it was ruining his birthday. And Andrew Ireland, whose last name is Ireland, might wear green on St. Patrick's Day. If somebody wants to humiliate that guy, you've got my blessings. I'll be the freaking Pope.
Didn't he have a mariachi band there?
Correct. Correct. Anybody wants to just depants that guy, be my guest. I don't care what the reason is.
Can't we do it over something that helps us for once, though? That's all I'm saying.
We got a podcast out.
We do. Look, the game of the week is the Lions and the Chiefs. The Lions are getting 2.5, but there's no way they're going to let the Chiefs lose 2 weeks in a row on national television, are they?
They're meaning the NFL machine? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like the same thing with the government. There's a cabal that runs everything. You know what I'm talking about.
Special thanks to
Rod George of Indianapolis. You guys are the best. Thanks, Hammer.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer here for my friends at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing. It's right there by that green bridge. And the best customer service you're going to find, not just in the diamond business, but in any business. They train their staff on it. Neve is the manager. He is so awesome. And my sales rep is a young lady by the name of Chris. So if you want to ask for her, go into that beautiful showroom at Diamonds Direct and say, Chris, is it true Jason Hammer is the most good-looking man you've ever seen in your life? See what she says. And while you're there, check out the biggest selection, the lowest prices, and get that home run gift for the holidays. The weather's starting to turn. It's never too early to think about that holiday gift. And guys, thinking about popping the question, remember, nobody, and I mean nobody, has better warranties and savings than Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing, tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana Health Insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple